to our show where we are going to have an argument between two groups of scientists talking this time about a really controversial and emerging subject. Let's welcome our guests for this evening. It's Andreas Kamilaris and Marios Sakidis, who are going to talk about nuclear power. And on the other hand, we have Alexandra Mikhail and Lukia Taxitari, who are going to talk to us about solar energy. Dear Andreas, should we continue to develop and enhance the nuclear power station?
Absolutely. Nuclear is a massive source of energy, and as we can see from the world, energy demands are growing tremendously, almost exponentially around the world. It's expected that I think in 2050 the energy demands of the human civilization will double. So we need a lot of energy, and with solar we cannot produce so much energy, we cannot rely on them. And also we might soon need to migrate to another planet if the planet Earth is not sustainable. And to do this we'll definitely need a lot of energy, a massive source of energy. So we think that we should invest on nuclear for these massive amounts of energy.
Thank you, Andreas. Well, Alexandra, what do you think? Does solar power have the technology to cover our demands for energy?
Of course it does. Unlike nuclear power, everyone can have a solar panel in his house. I mean, nuclear stations are only a few in the whole world, so those nuclear stations do not supply the whole world with energy. But with solar panels, we can supply, about 70 or 80% of the total energy consumption.
Okay. So, dear Marios, do you agree with Alexandra, or do you think that in the future maybe we could have nuclear power stations in our homes?
Maybe here in Cyprus, having solar panels above your house would be a good solution. But that's not the case for the other countries that they don't have the same sunlight percentage that we have here. So you can actually, yes, you can use a solar panel to maybe use it for the whole day just to charge your mobile phone. But okay, about having nuclear power plants in our houses, there have been some experiments to have a domestic power plant, but I don't think that it's a good option to follow this. It was just made for use case, test cases. No, we think that having more controlled and more secure power plants in specific places, that they don't have earthquakes or they're more safe and away from the sea for tsunamis and stuff, then it would be a much better solution.
Anastasia, can I add something?
Yes, please.
I would like to ask my opponents, what is the current penetration of photovoltaic energy around the world? Because you seem like every house has a photovoltaic.
Yes, well, Andreas, you're right for asking this question, and I'm afraid you're not very well updated on the matter of solar energy, because photovoltaics and solar panels, which are used at homes as well, are not the only form of solar energy. So there is an even clearer form of solar energy, which is used to warm up excuse me, huge tanks of water, which are then used to produce electricity through electrical generators, and these are very, very clean. They can be very big, and they can power up huge places. This was one of the things that I wanted to mention before. So, and you can also collect. Excuse me, Anastasia. You can also collect the sunlight even in places where there is no direct sunshine, right? There are ways to get around difficulties like this by actually collecting solar energy in this way.
Okay, very well. And apart from the safety that solar power gives us, what else could you tell us about this sort of energy?
Well, it's as we've said before, it's very cheap. right? Because as opposed to nuclear energy, because even though it costs less in the short term, nuclear plants need a lot of money to be sustained, and also depleted uranium needs a very long and expensive process in order to become non-radioactive. So solar energy is very cheap, and of course we shouldn't neglect the safety issues, because a human error in nuclear energy can have catastrophic consequences, whereas human errors do happen apart from nature and earthquakes and tsunamis. Human errors can cause catastrophic consequences. So in solar energy, no such
Thank you.
thing
So,
exists.
Marius, a final comment about the safety issues of nuclear power?
I would like to comment just in a moment the cost-effective analysis of solar energy and nuclear energy. It's much more cheaper, and it's much more in the future. It's more sustainable than the solar power. For example, that the efficiency of the solar panel drops at 60% of the original after 10 years. So it's not sustainable for the future. And we would like to say that the technology that's using is still evolving, so we cannot go for it yet. And for safety reasons, nuclear power can be produced everywhere around the world, or even in space. And we say that it should be far away from domestic areas, just for safety reasons.
Thank you very much, all the guests. And well, dear audience, it's upon your decision now to make up your mind towards one of the types of power or not, according to whether our guests this evening have convinced you enough with their arguments. Thank you.
So let's have a vote.